Well, after years of delay, the deadline for Real ID enforcement is less than 2 months away. That Real ID Act was passed in 2005. It was meant to make travel more secure in the wake of 9/11. Megan Hartnett, she joins us in studio. So, Megan, what problems will people run into if they don't have a Real ID?
Jeff, people in Ohio are not required to have a Real ID, but if you plan on flying or need to access federal facilities, now's the time to make sure you have what you need before the May deadline. The must-have this summer travel season will be a star in the top right corner of your ID. If you don't, you may run into a delay at airport security come May 7th.
We're being told that different federal agencies, there will sort of be a tiered approach. So you may be able to get on that plane that first time, but they're going to sort of flag you and you have to go through extra security.
To get a Real ID, you'll need to visit the BMV, bringing documents proving your legal presence in the U.S., your full legal name, date of birth, social security number, and 2 documents showing your Ohio street address. If you've put off getting a Real ID, you're not the only one. Charlie Norman, the Ohio Registrar for Motor Vehicles, says 55% of Ohioans have a Real ID, not far behind the 56% of Americans throughout the country with one. When going to renew your license, Ohioans have the choice of whether or not to get a Real ID.
When I was going to renew my license, I was like, I might as well just do it now instead of having to worry about it another time.
Ohioans can still get a standard driver's license, which requires less paperwork and will say not for federal ID in the top right. One Maumee resident just moved to this area from Illinois, but when she went to get her Real ID, she couldn't.
Didn't have the correct paperwork on me, not enough proof of address yet.
With potential travel plans on the horizon, she can still use a passport.
I do have a passport. Actually, I could be expired, so I guess I would have to double check. It would just be nice to have the star on my ID, I think.
If you are planning to get I did help her, Jeff, yes. If you're planning to get a Real ID, this has to be done in person. BMV officials are recommending people look into what documents they will need to gather ahead of time. We have a link to an interactive checklist on our website. In studio, Megan Hartnett, WTOL 11.